Hello my beautiful goddesses, welcome once again to my channel. I am Polkiz. I am a real estate investor, money coach. I'm also a stock investor, and most recently my new adventure, it's been day trading in the stock market. But most importantly, I am a mom of a beautiful daughter and a wife, and that's my favorite role. So over the years I have explored different type of investing in different types of building wealth or generating cash flow with my husband, in ways of growing wealth, in all these different things that we have tried. And today in this video I want to talk about the differences and similarities of being a long-term real estate investor, a stock investor, a day trader, and how these things merge or are opposite, or what are the differences for mindset, strategy, knowledge, emotional discipline, how you're regulated when it comes to investing, ego, and all of these things. Because trust me, being an investor doesn't mean that you're one thing. It can mean different things. There is not only one way of being an investor, and all different type of investors require different skills and different things that you need to build in the process. This is something that unfortunately I feel that you cannot learn before being one. I always say be wealthy or feel the embodiment before you get it. I feel that this is kind of like you learn on the go, because when you invest and lose or make money, you're gonna experience different things that you don't know how to react towards to. So I want to share some of the experiences I have learned being all three, and also business investor. So if you're new to my channel, welcome, and I hope you like the content that is here. I love expanding and talking about wealth consciousness and everything that is going to make us a wealthy, abundant goddess, a woman in her power. So welcome, and I invite you to like and subscribe. So a little disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor, I'm a money coach. So this is not financial advice, this is for educational purposes only, and also just to share my experience, what it's like being in all three. So let's start kind of like defining what are the different type of investors, and we're gonna start with my favorite one, which is a real estate investor. So a real estate investor basically focuses on the long term, right? Like of building wealth. Like this is a person or a woman that is gonna be building wealth in the long term. This person is focused on like 10-year, 20-year, 30-year, trying to build a legacy of wealth. Being a real estate investor is focusing on cash flow. Hopefully it's not going to be as a lot depending on the type of property. The cash flow can vary. Mostly I feel like a real estate investor, at least in our experience, we focus on the equity, and we use the equity as leverage. Also tax strategies and appreciation of properties, and especially if the property is in a good location or a good city or state. So this is what the real estate investor focuses on: the market when it comes to real estate, and appreciation of the property, tax strategies, cash flow, and also the equity of the property, how much you can project to make if the property appreciates in 5 years or 10 years. So this is kind of like the real estate investor is looking in. So the real estate investor is going to focus on physical assets, right? Like you buy land, you buying a house or duplexes or apartment complexes or any type of residential, commercial, or any other type of properties. So this is slower but more stable. This is one of my favorite things about real estate, because it's slow, you have more time to make decisions, it's more stable because we're focused on the long term. This is my favorite part of our investments, because it's for the long term. So you have time to plan, you have time to save, you have time to make big changes, and also the decisions are big decisions, and they're not as frequent as other type of investments. I'm going to talk about them later, but at least, you know, there is one or two big decisions that real estate investors do. Your average investor, unless you're really buying a lot of properties, but the big decisions are less frequent. Maybe at the beginning there is many more frequent decisions, but once you're settled, once you're building your portfolio or you build a portfolio, there is less big decisions, right? Like either sell or buy. That's gonna take maybe, you know, a long time and to make the decision, and for you to remodel it or lease it or resell it or flip the property. So it's less frequent decisions. This is what I love, because during the year we make 2 or 3 big decisions, big moves, big deals, and we have time during the year with our life and our lifestyle. We have time to think about them and make a more educated, more stable decision when it comes to our emotions. So that was the real estate investor. Other type of investor is the stock market investor. Now we're talking about medium. Remember, real estate was like long-term. This is more medium-term to long-term investor. Stock market investor does is like they plan for maybe holding the stock for either months or maybe years or long term. Some people love to buy certain stocks or dividends or ETFs for like decades. And this portfolio is definitely going to be way more diversified, because you have to do a lot of extensive research when it comes to what stocks to buy, at what price, when is the best time to buy, when is the best time to sell. So this is going to be very diversified, and it's not recommended you put all your eggs in one basket, right? Like not just put all your capital into one dividend or one ETF or one stock. So it has to be diversified. So you have to be very financially literate and educated, unless you're paying another person to invest for you. But I always recommend you do your own research, or if you find these mentors that can help you, that they can give you entries for when to buy, what to sell, what to buy, what stocks, the projections of the stock, or research about the company that you're going to buy the stock. So in my case, I shared before, I joined this trading and stock group, this organization called OBG, and I am very happy about it, because in the past 8 months I've been investing. There is a lot of mentors, especially one lady that she's very knowledgeable about the stock market, and she does extensive research about what stocks to buy, what to sell, and then I decide where to put my money. If the stock resonates with me, then I will decide to invest my own money. So they just give us the knowledge, the training, they teach us how to invest. And then I decide if I want to invest and how much capital I want to put in. So after all, I am learning to invest my own money. There is no middleman, none of that. So if you're interested in joining this group or joining a community where we talk wealth, where they teach us how to day trade, how to invest our money into stocks or crypto, I will leave the links of the invitation call so you can start seeing what is this about. The link is in the description box below, or just send me a comment, send me a DM on Instagram, and let me know if you have any questions. Also, being an investor in the stock market, the investment is going to be more liquid. So you can always sell the stock and get your money back, right? And it's quick. It might take up to 24 hours because the broker has to approve that transaction to make the money liquid, but it can take up to 24 hours, of course, business hours, when the market is open. So between 8:30 to 4:30, around that time here Central Time, your investment is more liquid. You can get it back quick. If you need the money, you can sell all your shares and you can have your money back. As for a house, it will definitely take a long time to put a house on the market. You will have to hire, unless you're a broker, you will have to hire a broker. You will have to get the house ready, take pictures of it, and these can take a lot of time to get your money back. Or if you want to raise rents, it's not that easy. You have to wait a year until you can increase rents, depending on the city and the state that you are. If you're from LA and you have properties in LA, then you know this is way more complicated, right? I'm just gonna say that. In the stock market, you can definitely liquid your investment and cash out your investment more quick. So that's also a benefit of having a portfolio, a very diversified portfolio in the stock market. Also, when you become a stock investor, you are a little more hands-off once your portfolio is built. So first, of course, like anything at the beginning, you have to do research, unless you pay someone to give you the information. But then once you invest and once you like the stock and you did research and you like what you're seeing, then you just hold it for midterm or long term, depending on your financial goals. So you're more hands off. As for real estate, of course, there's going to be hands-on, especially if there is maintenance in the property. At least 1 or 2 things come out a week or a month, depending on the amount of properties or doors you have. So this is going to depend. But the stock is more hands-off. You're more relaxed once you did your research, once you did your initial investment. For sure, being a stock investor is less emotional than being a trader. I'm going to be talking about day trading, but your emotions are less. Real estate, remember, is big decisions, big money up front because you have to do bigger investments for down payment of properties. Stock, you can invest what you have. You can start with $100, $1,000, $50, depending on the share that you're buying. But it is less emotional than trading. Being a stock investor is definitely less emotional than day trading. I think this is very in the middle, kind of like, yes, I'm an investor, but I'm not investing big like in real estate, like big chunks, big decisions, but slower, right? It's slow. You're building wealth slowly, but more secure. And that's how you can build generational wealth, right? Like you have your physical assets. In the middle, we have being a stock investor, and many people are hands-off. They don't want to manage property, so they have a portfolio of millions and then they're hands-off, or they pay someone, a financial advisors, to manage that portfolio. Now let's talk about day trading, which is one of my most recent adventures, and I'm really enjoying it. I love it, love it, love it. All the ups and downs. I made a recent video about the lessons I have learned, or how my experience has been day trading, and I'm just very excited. I am very proud of myself for taking this leap of faith. I love learning, I love challenge, so I'm definitely having a lot of fun doing day trading, and it's so fun. So let's talk about it. Day trading is definitely going to be more short-term investing, because day trading means you buy and sell, you make your money in the same day, within a day, within the hours the market is open. So this can be short term. Also, it is very fast paced, and this is something that a lot of people don't know when they come into day trading, until they find out that this is very fast paced. It's definitely high risk, is high emotions and high discipline, but just as high risks, you can definitely make high income or high profits. Also, you can have a lot of losses as for wins. So this is gonna depend on your level of skill. This is not a game. This is something that you definitely have to do. When people teach you, if you're trying to learn on your own, maybe you're watching YouTube videos, or you bought a course from someone, or you're listening to books, I highly recommend joining a trading community. This has been a game changer, because I remember I read like a couple of books when this was brought into my attention. And yes, I knew some of the terminology because, you know, I joined a group, but definitely nobody's helping you there. You don't have community holding your hand, or mentors that you can ask questions, or just a community that is going through the same thing as you, trying to build wealth, trying to know these skills. So I highly recommend joining a trading group. If you want to join one, I highly recommend, in the description box below for the trading group I joined, is full of mentors, amazing mentors. So I have experienced this, and it's definitely high risk, high emotions, high discipline, and it definitely is going to teach you expand and make decisions very quick. Also, this is going to be a skill-based income. So the more skillful you are, the more you learn to manage your emotions, to have a discipline, and to have the technical skill, the more income you will make. This is something that I see with the more experienced or seasoned traders. They've been doing this for years, at least 1 to 2 years. That's when they share their story, when they become a truly profitable trader. So this is very important to know. And it is not passive. So this is not something you put there and is gonna pay you every day, as for real estate or dividends that they can pay you every month, or the stocks, right? This is passive. You invest one, you let it go, and it will pay you recurring payments. No, day trading is you make the investment and definitely you make it back the same day, but you won't get paid tomorrow unless you go into the trade again. So it definitely requires daily engagement, because it's day trading, right? Like every day you have to trade, and rapid decision making. So every day from Monday to Friday. Me and the group, we go into the opening bell, which opening bell means when the market opens in New York. So at 8:30 Central Time, it will open, and then you can see the market moving. The leaders or mentors will have the charts with our own money or own broker. Like, nobody can manage the money. You decide how much money you want to invest in your own bank, your own broker, or from demo accounts, which are like fake money accounts so you can practice. Then you are going to buy or sell depending on the leader telling you, recommending these trades. So it definitely requires daily engagement. So that's something you have to have in mind. But now you can see, ladies, that it is an umbrella of investing, right? Like, when many people say, I want to become an investor, I want to start investing. Yeah, but where do you want to invest? So investing is an umbrella, but definitely different universes when it comes to real estate, when it comes to being a stock investor and having that diversified portfolio, or being a day trader. And now a different type of investor is business, right? Like, if you become a business investor, you open your own business, then it's going to be definitely under the same umbrella of investing. But then now you have to niche down on the type of business you want to make, study the competition market, study the socioeconomics, if it's a physical location, like what do people want in that location, or if it's going to be an online product, then you have to invest into marketing, SEO, website. How are you going to do your shipping methods or your inventory if you're selling physical products, or if you are doing intellectual property, which is courses or online content. So you have to think about, see, that requires a whole different skill sets. And I feel that every area of being an investor require different type of skill sets. I have experience all four. Being a business investor, I had like inventory, and I had like the websites and all of that. I'm a day trader now, definitely a stock investor, and one of my favorites, being a real estate investor. I love all of them four, but I think I'll keep these three. I love real estate, stocks, and now my fun one, which is day trading. So you have to know what type are you, so you can start investing where you feel that you will be more comfortable and grow. And the key differences is that real estate, you go in through 3 to 30 years, where you think about legacy, you think about wealth creation, and stock investors are more month to decades, like month to month. And so to recap the differences, real estate focuses on long-term, 5 to 30 years. Stock investors focus on mid-term, maybe like months to maybe a couple of decades. Day trading is definitely minutes to hours to a day, you know, like the trading day. Now, talking about cash flow versus capital gain, real estate definitely brings in monthly income, right? To pay the mortgage, to pay all the expenses of the property, and hopefully you make money out of that too. But it's bigger initial capital. As I say, you at least have to have $30,000 to $300,000 to put the down payment, depending on the type of property and how much is the property, right? That's gonna depend how much your direct deposit is, and then some money to remodel it, and some money to hold the mortgage while it's on the market, while you lease it or resell it. Stocks and dividends are going to be whatever you want to put in, whatever, how much ever you want to invest. And your day trading, you can make fast cash if you are good, if you get the skill sets and your emotional discipline and regulation in place. Now, the mindset and discipline for all of these three different type of investors, I feel like real estate requires a lot of patience, because as I say, this is going to grow slow, and a lot of planning. And this is where a lot of people kind of like quit or don't want it, because they want the instant gratification. And real estate is definitely delayed gratification, because you are thinking about in the future, you're planning for the future, you're planning to have higher equity and using as a leverage, and you have to have patience. Sometimes properties won't sell or won't lease for at least 3 to 6 months. So you have to be patient and have a lot of planning, and hopefully capital and some reserves to cover those months that you don't lease or sell the property. I feel that stocks require being neutral emotionally, because you just need to invest and forget about it, unless you want to, you know, collect your gains and sell the stock at a higher price so you can make some profit out of that. But it's kind of like set it and forget it. You don't need to be checking it every day, unless you truly are like me and you want to check your portfolio every day to have that intimate relationship with your money. But it's kind of like neutral, right? There is not like a lot of emotions going on. And now for trading, it definitely requires a lot of focus, daily engagement, daily discipline, mental discipline, and emotional regulation, and also practicing every day your skills. The more you practice, the better you will become over time. And now the risks with these type of investments, I feel the real estate is lower risk, because as I say, it's bigger decisions over longer periods of time. Of course, there is a bad investment, but overall, I feel it's less risky. And of course, higher upfront cost, as I mentioned before. And I feel that the risks for stocks are more moderate, as some stocks or dividends or ETFs are not going to move as bad. Especially the dividends and ETFs, they don't move as fast. They're more safer. Stocks might, depending on the emotion of the market, of course, they can crash or they can go up. If someone says something on X, or the president speaks or something like that, if there is some big financial news, then of course the stock can skyrocket or can crash, but it's kind of more moderate. And now the high risk is day trading. But if you are up to some adrenaline, making money, big, then I will highly recommend you start practicing with day trading and stocks. If you are not there yet to start investing in real estate, at least start practicing, reading about it, and see how you react emotionally. And the more you practice, the better you will come. Definitely with real estate, I learned delay gratification and be more patient and plan for the future. With stocks, I feel like it taught me that I need to trust the process. I need to trust that I made a good judgment in the stock, or that the mentor that I got the stock from, that she recommended, she did good research, and then I did my own research based on her research and my own. And you just have to trust the process, trust that the investment will grow and will be good. And day trading definitely taught me to make decisions quick, to manage my ego. It brought a lot of the negative things I had towards money, or the things I didn't know I was reacting towards money, or my relationship with money. So it definitely helped me upgrade that. It helped me be more emotionally regulated, detached from the outcome, and to definitely stay calm under pressure. So I have learned a lot from these. And this experience I have learned from day trading is translating into my stock investments. I'm not as scared as before. And with real estate, I've been there the longest. I feel more comfortable, more secure about decision making. I feel that my mind became just more sharp. And every day, of course, I listen to money books. You know, that's my jam. I love it. And that's why I wanted to make this video. So if you're thinking of becoming an investor, you haven't started your journey, or maybe you are already in one, maybe let's say you're an investor in real estate and have a property or two, but now you want to diversify your portfolio and you want to become a stock investor, I highly recommend start. Girl, this is your sign to start. Now, if you want to explore trading, or let's say both, in crypto as well, then I highly recommend join this group full of mentors and an amazing community where you're gonna find support. As I say, the link is in the description box below. So let me know what type of investor are you. Let me know in the comments below what type of investor you want to become, or what type of investor are you. So thank you, my goddess, for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.